When Vorden explained to Leo his abilities, Leo was running his lie detection ability to see if he was speaking the truth or not. Vorden looked at Leo's hand once again, and this time with slight hesitation. He eventually took the plunge and shook Leo's hand. Vorden could feel an insurgence of new energy inside his body. The cells in his body were finally changing. It was the strongest force he had ever felt enter his body before. Finally, the two of them let go.
"Well?" Leo asked. "Do you see what I see?"
Vorden activated the ability, and his whole vision went black. He could no longer see using his regular eyesight. Instead, the walls and floor appeared like wireframes that were constantly moving. When he looked at his hand, he could see the flow of yellow energy appearing off his own body. He turned his head and looked at Quinn, who was giving off a different color, a dark purple hue which burned brightly. Vorden now understood why Leo was able to tell that Quinn was different. It was the colors of energy. Finally, though, when he looked at Leo, the largest shock came to him. Leo's flame was yellow, just like Vorden's. However, there was a big difference between the two. The flow of energy burning was much more intense, and it seemed to be at least 4 times bigger than his own. But how? Vorden thought. Then, Vorden started to notice something else. The sword around his waist was also burning a bright red color, and the energy coming off from it was nearly just as strong as Leo himself. "Is this normal for beast weapons?" Vorden asked.
"It seems like you really can see what I can see. A regular beast weapon does not shine. As I said before, these are different," Leo explained.
"And what about you?" Vorden asked. "Why are you—"
Just before Vorden could ask his question, Leo immediately suppressed the yellow aura around his body and brought it down to the same level as Vorden. Seeing this action, Vorden knew Leo was telling him not to ask about it. Leo then tapped the large metallic circular object. "This here is a portable teleportation device. It's an old one, but it still works. As you know, these are a one-time use thing. It will allow you to go to a destination, but not come back," Leo explained. "The location of this device is set to a planet called Lintarnia. It's a green portal planet that I once came from, so it should be safe." "There is one problem, though," said Leo. "As you can see, it's very big and heavy. There is no way to move this without being suspicious or being seen by anyone else."
"We could bring Erin over to the portal," Vorden suggested. As Vorden made his suggestion, an idea suddenly popped into Quinn's head. He touched the shadow just underneath the large metallic object. "Dimensional space." The shadow underneath the object grew, and when it encased the whole thing, it eventually dropped down, as if the object was sucked into a black hole. "That solves the problem," Quinn said.
"I wish you two good luck," Leo said.
As the two boys ran off, Leo looked at the back of the two of them.
"The future ahead will be dark for you two, but it seems you will be strong enough to overcome it."
The circular portal was set up in Logan's room, while Layla sent a message with details about which planet Erin would be in for an agent of Pure to pick her up. Once Layla received a confirmation back, it was finally time for them to say their goodbyes. Logan tapped a few buttons on the side of the circular machine, and 2 claw-like objects opened up from the side. A few moments later, a green-colored round fuzz of energy was produced. The portal was activated. Before stepping into it, she looked back at everyone in the room. "I know you losers will still do well without me, become the best, and keep my top place warm for me when I return," she said with a smile. Looking at Erin's smile, their hearts started to melt a little. "Remember, if there is any problem and you need to contact us, use the watch," Logan shouted. With those last words said, Erin stepped into the portal, experiencing a whole new world. On the planet Biolotmare, a medium-sized shelter stood along a clear blue river. The shelter wasn't owned by the military or the Big Four, but instead was owned by a secret benefactor who would hire out travelers, or traveler factions, to guard the place. Standing by one of the portal entrances was a young man who was tapping his foot on the ground. A strange sound was heard by his side. When he turned his head, he could see the space next to him became distorted. Warping in and out, suddenly, a bright white circular portal appeared. A snow-white-skinned female with blonde hair dropped out of it. The man walked up to the woman and looked her up and down before saying anything. "An angel flies high in the sky," the young man said.
and has its wings torn down and falls to the ground," Erin replied. Before leaving, Layla had informed her this was a code, so agents could tell who was who between each other. "Follow me." The young man led her out of the shelter. "This should be far enough," the young man said, standing near the edge of the cliff top. The man started to walk around as if he was looking for something on the floor, until eventually a ping sound was heard. "Here it is." The man started to dig down at the spot with his bare hands. "Hey, pretty lady, are you just going to stand there, or are you going to help me?" the man asked. Just as she moved forward, a loud screeching sound could be heard in the air. "Watch out!" she shouted. "It's a beast!" The young man turned and slowly drew out his large sword. Suddenly, the beast stopped its descent and spread its wings wide open, hovering by the cliff top in front of the young man. It marched forward, and the young man lifted the sword just at the right time, pushed it down like a pin right on top of its head. Its wings had stopped in an instant, and the beast was dead. "Can you at least get the crystal?" the man asked. While Erin went to carve out the beast's crystal, the man continued to dig in the location. Finally, the man had stopped digging and pulled out a large, circular metallic device. After pressing a few buttons on the side, the portal opened up. "Well, are you ready to meet your new home?" he asked. "Take off the watch. This? If you're worried about the school tracking me, they won't be able to. Your member disabled it," Erin tried to explain. The man then forcefully grabbed her wrist and snapped the watch off before throwing it onto the ground. "You're about to head into the Pure's base. We can't and won't take any chances." After that, he pulled Erin into the portal, and the two of them disappeared out of sight. At Military Base 2, things were starting to calm down. There was only one problem left to solve right now, and that was Peter. The group had decided they would continue to hide Peter inside Logan's room. While he stayed in Logan's room, it would also give him time to practice the details of the student he was pretending to be. Logan opened up the files which displayed information about the student named Pio Blank on the screen. While the file was open, Logan would ask a series of questions to which Peter would answer. They continued this until Peter could remember every detail about Pio Blank by heart. "Do you mind doing me another favor?" Logan asked with a small smile on his face. Peter hopped into the VR machine. Logan would communicate with him while he was connected. Right now, Logan wanted to see Peter's capabilities and strengths. "Peter, behind you a pair of weapons will appear. Use them however you wish against the NPC enemies." Suddenly, a pair of short blades appeared on the ground behind him, and at the same time, 8 different men all in a solid black color appeared. They didn't look like humans, but like blobs of ink instead. Using the 2 weapons and Peter's speed, he was able to deal with most of the enemies with ease, and Logan was impressed. Right now, both his strength and speed were nearly 4 times the level of an average human. Finally, the simulation had ended, and Peter exited the pod. After gathering all of Peter's stats, Logan concluded that Peter would make a great spy or assassin. While Logan was deep in thought, he heard a knock on the door, and to his utter surprise, it was Quinn and Fex. "What are you two doing back here so soon?" Logan asked. "Actually," Quinn replied, "I was hoping we could use your VR capsule. I wanted you to add Fex's ability to the game for us. I suppose I still have some energy left in me," Logan said as he quickly hopped onto his computer. "Go on then, Quinn, you've done this before. Show him what to do." Just like Quinn had done before, Fex was placed into the fairly large glass tube. He was then told to use his ability in different ways, while the tube and computer would record how his ability worked. "And we are done," Logan said as he opened his eyes and let go of the computer. "How will we play?" Quinn asked. "There's only one VR machine." "I thought of that beforehand," Logan said as he threw 2 very small, square-looking nanosticks in the air. Both Quinn and Fex caught them with ease by swiping their hands in the air. "Usually if you try putting anything into the VR capsules, it will just reject them for security reasons, but those have been blessed by me," Logan explained. "Just head to the back and pop them in. After that, when you log into the VR capsule, it will give you the option of which server to connect to. I've put both the Shadow and String ability into the private server for you to use. Now get out of here and go play your little game." As soon as the 2 boys left the room, Logan almost collapsed on his bed. Peter looked at Logan in the room before looking at the VR capsule again. "Do you mind if I use the VR capsule?" Peter asked. but Logan was already asleep.
"Whatever, it's just a game,"
Peter said as he climbed into the machine.
"Logging in online. Please create your user ID."
Quinn and Fex were now in the game's white lobby room. They had done as Logan instructed. Right now, they were in his private server. "Okay, so the idea is, I will control your body using the strings. Now what you need to do is focus on the feeling of each movement. Every sequence of moves starts somewhere and ends somewhere. You need to put these things together like building blocks," Fex explained. "So are you ready?" Quinn was ready this time. Within the game, there was no chance for him to be hurt. He stood with his back facing towards Fex and had his arms and legs spread out to make it easier for him. Just like he did with Erin, Fex walked up to Quinn and inserted 12 different pieces of string into 12 different parts of his body. Fex did a few simple tests first, moving his body around. "Calm down, will you?" Fex complained. "For this to work, you need to be in a sleep-like state. That way I can use your body how I like. You just need to pay attention with your mind." Quinn closed his eyes and tried relaxing his body. It took a while for him to allow his whole body to go limp, as he was afraid he would fall over if he did. But suddenly when he did, he felt a jolt in his legs. He didn't fall over, but instead, Fex had taken control of his legs. After getting past the weird feeling, the rest was now easy for Fex. Quinn concentrated hard as Fex demonstrated the moves using his body. As his arms flew out from different angles, they were fast and stiff. At the same time, his body was always in a position where he could see an oncoming attack while being able to block using his shoulder. Quinn tried to combine the feelings of the punches together with his muscle memory from being controlled by Fex, and it seemed to be working out well for him. Fex watched Quinn carefully as each move was performed nearly perfectly to how they were shown. "Looks like we have a fast learner," Fex said. As Quinn didn't want to let go of this feeling, he continued to practice the punches Fex had taught him. He was slowly perfecting them. Then all of a sudden, he heard a ding from the system.
Hi, Quinn here. Wondering what happens next? If you want to jump the queue and unleash all episodes, click on the link here and install the Pocket FM app.